Assistant Fire Chief.
What's that?
Assistant Fire Chief.
Hey, good enough. Have you been the chief before?
Yeah.
You guys kind of trade up, right?
I've been on for 25 years, so.
Wow. So what's your name?
Scott Middleton.
Spell both names.
SCOTTMIDDLETON.
Okay, and you're assistant fire chief?
Assistant Fire Chief, Luce Township Fire Department, Hatfield Station.
Okay, Luce, is that where we are?
Yep, we're in Luce Township, Spencer County,
Okay.
which is on the border of Yankeetown and Boonville.
Yeah. We're in Spencer County?
Yep, we're in
Okay.
Spencer County. We're just barely, but we're in Spencer County.
So you had a pretty good day here, really.
Yep.
Tell me what happened.
Farmer climbed up in the bin, his center well plugged up when he was trying to unload it to fill into his truck. He climbed in the bin, which we all know we're not supposed to, and tried to unplug it. Luckily, he had two people with him helping. Grain started to go down, he went with it. They got everything shut down for him, tied him off to a rope, and he was stuck up to about his waist. Then as you kind of look there, we got here, he was up to about his chest high.
Is that pretty dangerous, though?
That can be very dangerous.
Why is that?
It's crush injury. You got all that weight from the outer side of the bin pushing in. So every time you take a breath, the grain kind of fills back in. So the whole time you're doing it, it just keeps compressing on you, compressing on you.
How was he doing when you guys got
He was doing really well. He was talking to us the whole time. Local guy, we've all known him. He used to be our ag teacher here. So we've all known him since we were little guys.
He was your ag teacher, and he was in the...
Ag, FFA, Purdue Extension guy. He's not real happy about, he knows better, but real good guy.
There's a bird's nest up there that he was at.
Up in the top of the bin, they'll build a bird's nest, and then when they start unloading the grain, that bird's nest will go straight down to the bottom and plug up that hole. That's what he was trying to do.
Big stickers on it? Yeah. So when did you guys get on scene, do you know?
It happened right around 2:10. We were dispatched probably 5 minutes after that. I was on scene probably 5 minutes after that. I work in Rio, so got here pretty quick. Came straight to the scene. Our guys were coming in behind our trucks. We called for Christie Volunteer Fire Department, Rockport Volunteer Fire Department, us, of course. And we went ahead and Boonville's got rescue guys. So we went ahead and called them. They came in to help out on the high angle rescue part of it with the ropes, which that also brings in Yankeetown with their big ladder truck, with their big aerial truck.
So you guys had major operations what I could see. Kind of tell me what the guys on top were doing while the guys on the bottom were doing.
The guys on top were basically relaying all the information back and forth, calling for the guys down low, what they needed, tools, observing what was going on in the bin. The guy that was sitting on top of the bin in a shirt like mine, he's the assistant chief of Rockport. He works in the same ministry I do, which is around grain bins. So he was kind of spearheading that end of it. I was at the bottom, kind of taking care of the cuts, all that kind of coordination at the bottom. So they were relaying information to the guys that stayed inside.
So I saw a bunch of backboards and some other things going in there. Tell me what that was for.
They were using that for wall cribbing to basically set up to keep the grain flow away from him a little bit more. So we're trying to get at that last ditch effort, trying to get him to the point where we can actually get him out. Grain flows really easily, so those backboards set in. Basically, it stops the flow of grain to a point, so we can kind of scoop it out away from it.
And were you able just to pluck him out, or what happened then?
We had a rescue tube. It's a GSI rescue tube that we actually had him encased inside of. We used that to get around him to keep at least the grain pressure off of him. We were able to suck out a lot of the grain with one of the augers. Plus we had a vac truck here too, so at the very end we were using the vac truck. And once we got it down to about his knees, he was actually able to kind of climb out a little bit at that point. Put him on the backboard, slid him out of the bin and into the ambulance.
So is he injured at all?
Surprisingly, for as long as he was in there, his spirits remained really well. Medically speaking, he did really well. Can't comment on as far as the extent of injuries, but he's in good spirits. He's not going to have, I don't believe he'll have long-lasting effects from this.
Do you have any idea about how far he fell before he hit the...
He didn't fall. He climbed into the bin and was walking into it. And loose grain, you'll sink approximately 18 inches or so in it. So as soon as that grain started to flow, it just automatically took him down deep.
So,
they might be going up to Point Zero coming in.
You said you work in the grain industry?
Yeah.
So what do they tell you in the grain industry?
Our rule of thumb when we work where we work at is if somebody's pulled grain out of a bin, we will not enter the bin. That's a zero entry policy. That's generally what most your ADMs, bunkies, Cargills, they all have zero entry policies into a bin after grain's been pulled out of it for that reason. Like I said, he knew better just because of his training, the years he's taught that.
Yeah,
So,
he's got the
I
full
was
arm.
sitting in the back lot, and you guys brought him out.
All down his past
I got one big screen, and I couldn't see it.
touch
The
his truck.
police back there said,
He
they're
got
all
the ladder
smiling, they're all
coming out that
smiling.
way.
It's done. Everybody walks away today. That's a good day.
Anything else you want to tell me?
I really do appreciate all the departments that show up to help out, the farmers that showed up to give their input, their help. Basically, we had a lot of people on scene. Everybody worked together really well. I was very proud and thankful for everybody that showed up. I know the family's thankful as well.
Yeah, I copied
No,
it
you
down.
did a lot of things
Somebody
wrong
comes
today,
through.
but what did you do right?
He had his cell phone on him and he called and he got a hold of somebody quick. They tied him off quick. That kept him from going any further. And we were able to take it from there and have a good evening the rest of the evening. I hope.
So what was the reaction like when everybody got him out?
It's always relief. Anytime anything like that happens, everybody walks away good. It's a good feeling. You can kind of breathe, take a deep breath for a minute.
All right. You lied to me, though.
Why's that?
You weren't good at this.
I'm not,
You're
buddy.
really good at this.
No, I'm not, buddy.
No, you're really good. I'm John.